7 p.m.
7 p.m.
What you have just described, if you examine medieval folklore, especially medieval France, the Bourbons regions, these are the birthplace of the werewolf. It's the birthplace of it. Examine them, and you're going to find something amazing. There are stories in it that sound just like what you said. Just like what you said. You know what a nightmare is described as, in its proper definition, is a mare alleged to cause, it's a spirit. A mare is what they called it, alleged to cause a dream. If you've got markings happen, stigmata, happens for one reason and one reason only, and that's a declaration of ownership. You've received what's called a mark. And the scriptural reason why, you have to understand, in the paranormal realm, they're always seeking to either corrupt, copy, or pervert something you'll find in Scripture. And in the book of Numbers is where Israel starts doing what's called an accounting. They count all the people. And they do so by placing a mark on the forehead. And mark them also according to their tribe. That's why spirits mark people. It's a method of denoting ownership. You belong to my master. Their master is their father, the devil. So if you still are suffering with any of these problems, I would go see somebody who can help you with it. And I would not take it lightly. You see, people don't understand possession. I met Linda Blair last couple months ago at a Florida show. Wish I hadn't, because I had a crush on her growing up. But she's in my book, and I say I had a crush on her. And we started talking about it and all that. And, you know, she's famous for The Exorcist. And she was talking about all the stuff she went through to make the movies. And, you know, she was a little marked from it, but, you know, she has such a deep interest in the paranormal because of it. She can't separate herself from it. That's the necromancy I was speaking about. But also, the Hollywood version of being possessed is all bells and whistles. It's for the sake of entertainment. Anything that comes out of Hollywood is entertainment. Please do not let Hollywood educate you on the paranormal. Let people who actually work in it educate you on the paranormal. Okay? And I refer you to the book of Matthew, chapter 25. Jesus is in the garden, okay? And Judas Iscariot brings the palace guard to him to turn him over to Pilate, you know, to be tried. They want him, you know, to be executed. Now, when Judas is doing it, Judas thinks that he's doing a good thing to take Jesus off the street, keep him from being killed and all that. He doesn't realize that the palace the temple wants him dead. But you see, the book of Mark also says that at the Last Supper, Satan himself went into Judas. There's actually 14 people at the Last Supper. Satan is the 14th man because he was in the person of Judas when they dipped their bread together in the bowl. And Jesus says to him, whatever you do, do it quickly. Because he's not talking to Judas. He's talking to Satan, who was in Judas at that time. Whatever you're going to do it quickly. And at the garden, here's Judas, possessed by what everybody would acknowledge is the single most powerful demon ever, Satan. Head spinning around on the shoulders? No. Flames shooting out of the eyeballs? No. Vomit, projectile, you know, all over Jesus', Jesus, you know, you got me arrested. Why do you have to do that, sir? No, not doing that. There are very sane, reasonable, rational people walking the streets today, some of them in this building, who look like the most intelligent, cultured, calm, gentle of souls, who are absolutely full-on possessed. Everything else is for just effect. You have to understand demonic possession. Demonic, it's as simple as, you know, you're going to go home tonight and sit your keys in a favorite place. Tomorrow morning when you get up, you're going to pick up your keys from a favorite place. It's your possession. You know where it is, you know where to find it. That's how possession works. Nothing more complicated than that. And that's what the stigmata is about. They know where to come find you later. They may not have anything to do with you now, they will later, but they know where to find you. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying this to tell you based on the conversations I've had with people who have been possessed and who are possessed even now. Anybody have any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
I'm going back to like empaths and sensitive people. I was recently at a convention. I was surrounded by a lot of pain, a lot of suicide attempt survivors. And how do they deal with that energy? Because I was just in so much pain too, even though I haven't dealt with that, type of
Go
stuff.
back to the man in the book of Mark chapter 8. All 5,000 of those spirits are there for one reason, and that's to drive the man insane. And when Jesus takes them out of the man and puts them into the swine, animals having a less complex brain than humans, of course, no reasoning factors, they immediately, instinctively commit suicide. There are spirits that just want you to kill yourself. And, I don't talk about this openly, it's in the book, but my introduction into the paranormal realm was through powerful spiritual forces impressing upon me to commit suicide. Years I lived with it, all through the 1980s. And the only thing that prevented me from committing suicide is the fact that I have a very large personality that's always trying to get out and do things. I have a very conflicted personality that way. But at night, I wanted to die. Every damn night. And it wasn't until I got saved that all of that went away. Every last bit of it. Not going to church, getting saved. And believe me, when you're saying that, I'm feeling what I felt when I was a teenager. It's the funniest thing, though. You got everything going for it. I was student council. I was a track star. I ran the school radio station. I was in the school plays. Go figure. And when nobody was around, I wanted to die. And I didn't know why. Yeah, home life could have been better, but, you grew up in an Italian family, you're going to have that. But, that's feeling sad. But being depressed at the point where you just want to die and you can't come up with a reason, you just don't want to live anymore, something's up. Question the source of that. Reasonable, rational people don't walk around feeling like they want to die. They just don't. Anybody have any other questions? Yes, sir.
So how do you go about guiding a child that wants to die?
Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's older, he will not depart from it.
Say that again?
Train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is older, he will not depart from it. Book of Psalms. It's as simple as that. Now, if you know a path you want your child to walk yourself, don't waste a day showing it to him. And you don't have to be on him 24/7. When you see him going the wrong way, steer him back on the right course. That's not good for you. You shouldn't do that. I saw a guy do that once and lose his arm. That thing about don't stick your arm out of the school bus, you'll lose it? Yeah, don't do that.
Do you believe praying with them daily is a good way to help ward off the bad stuff?
Show them how to pray. Show them how it's done. You'd be amazed how complex people have made things. Honestly. Why do you think Jesus said, when all the little children came around him and the disciples were trying to scatter them away, they thought they were bothering? No. Suffer not these little children, for in them is the kingdom of heaven. So you should have faith as these little children have. People tend to make things more complex than they have to be. We forget being kids, don't we? And how easy it was. When we get older, we make things much more complex, don't we? It ain't hard. But the thing is, you know which path you want him to walk. That's the thing. My dad didn't care. Not this and the guy. That's one of the hardest working people on the planet. He had his thing going on. But he didn't care, so I had to find my own path. And my path went through a lot of bad places, like we were just talking about. I've been on the verge of suicide many, many, many times, and I'm smart enough to figure out how to do it. And nobody should ever have to be in that position. With better parenting, you wouldn't have been. And I am that person, I am that kid, that if an adult walked up to me and says, hey, you shouldn't do that, I would have listened. Because I was scared of adults. I'm just plain scared. Anybody have any other questions? My name's Frank Bennett. I'm really glad you all took the time to sit here and talk to me. I'm going to let you all get back to your lives, and you can come see me at my table anytime you want to, and I want you all to take care of yourselves. Goodbye.